Chibi Mami, on fuel price wars those days. Saturday, 16th May 2015. Abaya it is so NDC Abaya Samreno President John Dramani Mahama and 2015, okay. Saturday, 16th May.
Okay.
The government then announced a 9% increase in fuel prices.
Aye.
Samreno, now we are running mate. And now we are campaign. And as somehow kind any quote, I don't think that there's any doubt now that the current NDC government is the most incompetent, uncaring, and corrupt we've ever seen. The government has thrown all responsible feelings to the dogs and gone ahead. Beba, we'll be right back.
Peace FM. Peace FM.
Nanado Dankwe Kufuado Nina Bedi Tre Mahmoud Bawumia Yentoa Bama.
Yo, me da se kwame na uhwe a manifesto no. The team no is a very instructive team. Leadership of service.
Leadership of service.
Protecting our progress, transforming Ghana for all. You know, that really, we know it encompasses a idea, right? Through the leadership of service. Nana Akufo-Addo is really a servant leader. And he's done so much. And in this election, it is very, very important, say, we have to consolidate what we have done. We have done so many things. We share NAPCO, free SHS, the one district, one factory, one constituency, one ambulance. So many projects that we have started. It's very, very important. Planting for food and jobs. Say, we should consolidate that progress and we should protect it. Everything, because if you make a change, you will see an unwinding of the programs like free SHS. I have no doubt in my mind that the credibility and sincerity of the NDC on free SHS cannot be trusted. They give so many different versions of what they think about it, and meanwhile, as far as free SHS, they say they will review. What does it mean? Review, no. But bring a policy. This has been in place for the last 4 years. So someone now like I said, Mayor ABC. Now it's interrogating. But you say you review, it doesn't make sense. You know, they said that what they will restore teacher training allowances and nursing training allowances. But then they said that they released it. That means you've cancelled the grant. You cannot say you haven't cancelled it. This is even in English language, it's a simple understanding. The cancellation of a grant is not the same as introduction of a loan, right? Because the two are not the same. So, you know, their credibility, they will say anything that they think they need to say to win an election. So even things that they have brought into being, they are trying to go back on some of those things. You know, so we cannot risk our progress. And so the major part of this manifesto was part of let's protect the progress, because the manifesto the first part of it is accounting for our stewardship. So we go sector by sector. Kwame, we have put together sector by sector a list of almost 350 achievements that we have in all of these sectors, over in the 289 categories. You can count about 350 achievements of this government in all the 17 sectors that we analyze in the manifesto. And they are so impressive. And there's no, I mean, sector by sector, you can see how much better we have performed. And so all of this progress that we are making in every sector that we can think of, we need to protect that progress in the interest of our people. So many people will be at risk if we allow the NDC to come into government with a very unclear program and an uncredible, so a program that is not credible, because their record is a bad one across the board that they are talking about. I can't see a sector where their record is better than ours. I can't. So why give up? We're creating more jobs. We're stabilizing the economy. We are growing agriculture, everything. So why change when you have something that is better than what you was before, and the same old person wants to come back? So, we talked about accounting for our stewardship, protecting our progress, but then now we also in this manifesto talked about the impact of COVID and what we are trying to do to recover from the impact of COVID, and the CARES program that we have, COVID alleviation, revitalization of enterprises, strategy that we have, project that we have to try to revitalize a lot of enterprises that have been affected by COVID. And we have that in the manifesto. Then we go to the final part of the manifesto, the two parts where we are looking at transformation and getting accelerated growth. And the digitization, creating a digital economy, and how we want to do it in terms of reducing taxes on some of the digital devices, expanding broadband, and then creating these interlinkages created between the digital infrastructure already. So we want to let this country become the hub of digitization and a digital economy in West Africa. And then we also want to look at building the private sector to support accelerated growth. A lot of what we want to do, we want to do it in partnership. Private sector no yakabum na etimi eye jumanu bebre, and we have a number of policies that we want to do. One is the human capital side, education. Kwame,
yes, sir.
Unim say ye manum 1.2 million what senior high school. Call university.
No great.
But we hear say and also again kakra because of the cost of going. So parents senior high school fees now. Then no universities dear. So you per se the new policy to allow say tertiary institution the opportunity say obetime loan edia kono is there, and then when you finish you pay back,
and now see no guarantor
no guarantor, because guarantor system a deprive nipa bebre omuntimi nko, because omuntimi nya obi a obeba ba guarantee ama omo, because obi ne pension on pese odidi agro, but if I say ya ma national ID card obi, and national ID card yiso nyame adom ebeya o tin number, and also nyame adom ebeya o social security number. So once you have the national ID card o system so uji busia government ma busia for school fees uwie na oye juma ubetumi atua kakra.
Mr. Vice President Patrick Jinahwana, Mimisa question back was particularly hwehwemu no yekopie krate biso. Senior lecturer, University of Ghana, Department of Political Science, or say Abayama 2-year period, according to your manifesto.
Yeah.
Say Garant and bit media, your budget Bosiani debatia. Now, your friend Dr. Isaac Owusu Mensa on Wednesday in Amwa and the Kasai or Joy FM, or say not everyone who completes his or her tertiary education immediately finds a job. Yeah. Many beneficiaries might not be able to raise enough money to pay for the loan within the given 2-year period.
I think,
or say, even though he lauded the policy, or Wabasu said a good idea.
Misunderstood it. I'm explaining. So, the policy is that, and in fact, that is exactly what we realize. You see, Yamao loan noa, Ubeya national service 1 year, right? And then after national service, no so, grace period of another year before you start paying, and hopefully by then, no, so you essentially have 2 years after finishing. One, you do national service. The other is a grace period. And then you start paying. Right, and you pay over a period of time. So, the 2 years they are thinking about, say you pay it within 2 years. No, that's not the case at all. Say within 2 years of finishing, you are still trying to put yourself together. So maybe we didn't explain it as well, or they didn't read the manifesto itself. But I think that with that explanation, then their concerns will be addressed.
In the first year, national service. Second year,
it's a grace period, right? So you have 2 years before you start paying. We hope that between national service and that 1 year grace period, and then well, that is the other issue that we're going to have to deal with. But hopefully, we will all get jobs. We should plan on the positive. Say, my
allowance will be 5% might slip through, 10% might slip through.
I think for any financial program,
yes,
you have to make those allowances. Any, whether it's a bank or non-bank, that some people may not
meet up.
Any day it's also. But what is going to happen? Why we think it's so important with the structure that is being put in place, and say it becomes sustainable. Because it becomes almost like after a few years, maybe 5 years or so, it becomes a revolving fund. Because those who are now paying back, then we will be using that to give new loans to people coming on board.
But the guarantor system is not making sure, say, at least nipa nentia mobitime subi mu.
Yes, but it was also denying a lot of people education. A lot of I talked to the Student Loans Trust a while before we. Yes, because in NIPA, you're guaranteeing essentially with your pension, and a lot of people were not willing. So people were leaving, were not going to university simply because omunya guarantor. That was all. It was a big issue for them. So we believe that this is one of the benefits of digitization. The digitization gives us your national ID, and we can track you in the system. One way or the other, you will account for it. You pay, But because you can't, your NHIS, your SN'T, your everything will be linked to your digital ID, and that alone is sufficient for us in terms of replacing the guarantor.
Well, I hope we will answer those questions. Now, how about the issue of rent? I don't know in Chechemu to say.
Yes, rent and also a high dream palm because nipa pi omuwe school no omu juma omunya juma no pe omu pe accommodation.
Yeah, omu pe baby ada.
Na o konya accommodation yi na obi say for 6 months and 2 years simple advance bre. Now onyen start juma yi. You don't have any savings. Now, you must to 6 months and now 2 years advance. It's hard, a high dream. Best practices from around the world.
Yeah.
Me share that core rent control board. Say idea as far as the rental issue koso. Now policies are say we'll have a national rent allowance scheme by tuja. So essentially, if you have a formal type of employment, or juma, you may deduct your payments for the rent from your salary. Then this rental scheme, we will pay the landlord directly the advance, and then we will deduct the payments on a monthly basis from your salary, so that what you would have normally paid rent, because most people can afford the rent for 1 month, is the 6 months or 2 years advance now hygiene. So what you would have normally paid, for 1 month, that would be deducted at source.
But Mr. Vice President, say advance, rent advance, technically is against the law. So 2 years at the end, it's against the law.
That's also a good way of enforcing the law. Because we are going to get a database of all the landlords with their digital addresses. You see, so you will now have to work within the law. So essentially, the law says 6 months. This is what I understand. So we will be dealing with landlords on that basis. But you're going to try to, because what is happening, let's say, Kwame.
Yes, sir.
There's all what we call a market failure. The landlords are worried that this person, if you give him this room or this apartment, they are going to stop paying. And then you have a difficulty of not, because of getting them out. So they then try to ask for long advance payments so that they can have some security. Meanwhile, the tenants too don't have the capital. Almost need capital, no. Tenants no, almost need capital, no. So there's a market failure. So government is coming in, and if government is paying directly to the landlords will feel in a better position. They will feel that, oh, wait here, I don't have to worry because government is committed and I'm receiving my money from government.
But Excellency, the mechanics of it will be different, I'm sure. Esan say, Mr. Tiajuma, Ebia Maketia will probably determine the kind of property I'm renting.
Precisely.
Intino Edruha, say the most decent accommodation I mean, your fan is 500 cedis a month.
Yes, right.
And now 300 cedis a month.
Yeah.
Market here maybe 1,500. Inti some mechanics no how are we going to work that out?
Well, I think they will work it out, but I think that it's your income must be able to support your rental payment. Otherwise, you see what I mean? You 12,500 now, rent 2,500. But if you are 12,500 now, 100 and now 200. So we also end up having to cut our coat according to our size. But this thing is being done, even in the US, it's being done. It's not new. So the mechanics of it is not a problem. Nyamiadum will put all of that together. But it's very important. There's a big problem with rent advance and getting accommodation. So government is coming in with this scheme to help people get access to soft loans. And we'll work with the private sector on this. Soft loans to be able to rent. So instead of paying 6 months advance, you just pay monthly payments, and that will be very, very important.
Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Mahamadou Bawumia, and Nawaha Anope. Let me say, for us at Kukuruku, we're also proud. It's the very first time a sitting Vice President has honored us with his presence on this show. And first or running mate, say or a vice president. wenya en ho adaje ya keka nsem bebre ya ka economy ya ka niam bebre ama sese ya ba bedru NPP manifesto I copy o Cape Coast na niam ni be free mobile this issue about rent and the mechanics, student loans, and the issue of no guarantee. Now, most of my free Wi-Fi. How feasible is that?
Oh, it's very feasible. The it has begun. The contract has been awarded. The process has begun.
So where?
Ministry of Education. So for senior secondary schools, there are two processes actually going on. Kwame, unim say ECG, omo fiber across the country.
Yeah.
I didn't know
for
that.
The electricity wiring is
almost everywhere. Omo meter no. Omo fiber.
Nam from
Asasiasi. So, in the context of what we were investigating for free Wi-Fi, we found out this, and so the Ministry of Education is has engaged a contractor for the free Wi-Fi for the
secondary schools.
And that program is
all secondary schools?
All secondary schools. All.
Do we have the capacity?
Yes, we do. Oh yes, Nyamiadum. It's just Wi-Fi.
Veep, are we just dreaming big for the purposes of dreaming big, thinking big for? And
no,
I said there's a concrete.
But the point is that, as I said, if you get to the point, because we've talked to a number of potential service providers, and the Ministry of Education has chosen one of them, right? And this is not rocket science. Having Wi-Fi in a place is not rocket science. Other countries have done it. But sometimes your minds not a limited kakra. We always think that some things are impossible. You know, that's how, but these things other countries have done it. We can do it. It's not, yeah, if you can have electricity in your home, we can also have Wi-Fi in schools. There's no problem. So, I know, and then the ECG is working on about 13 tertiary institutions that to bring in the free Wi-Fi. So the ECG is working on that side. Ministry of Education is working on the secondary schools, and we will see a major, I think, change in this area next year, inshallah.
Interesting. Let me look at two other areas and then slowly adding housing.
Yeah.
The State Housing Company is here. There are other projects going on. Housing area. One of the biggest complaints that it is called affordable, but it's not.
Mr.
Vice President.
Yeah, thank you very much. Manifesto the housing sector is where we have tried to attack this thing from a three-pronged approach. Which is, first is that there are a lot of people who cannot buy homes. They can rent, and the rental assistance scheme, the rental assistance scheme, where we are giving loans for people to pay rent, is one of the ways we are dealing with that category of people. Then you also have people who really who have very low income and need housing. And what we haven't focused on, any low-income housing. We keep talking about affordable housing, and that tends to be more for the middle class than for the low income. And so what we are doing in this manifesto is shifting the emphasis towards the low income. So a lot of land banks have been procured, and we want to build a lot more low-income housing, working with the Building Roads and Research Institute, BRRI. We've already talked to them about designs using local materials for the low-income houses, because that then brings down the cost. And these low-income houses can also be rented to the low-income people. Like, these are housing estates. Right, as you have in other countries for low-income people, and so you can rent or have rent-to-own schemes, and so on. So that's the second leg of our housing policy. Then the third leg is really to get the mortgage market working for the more of the middle class who can afford it. And so what we are doing there, we're going to ask the State Housing Corporation, for example, working with the private sector to get a lot more active in that area. So far, they've done very well, State Housing, without any borrowing. They've done a lot of projects, and a bit more capital could see them delivering this. So we have three-pronged approach: the rental assistance scheme, the low-income housing, and the mortgage affordable housing for the middle income.
And we're sure this will solve the problem?
We think that we will definitely be on the way to solving the problem. Housing is a challenge, 1.7 million or so deficit that we are dealing with. But we have to start somewhere. But for the longest time, we know government has really recently anyway focused on low-income housing, and we need to move into that area.
Interesting. Creative arts. More manifesto creative arts.
Yeah. Well, creative arts is
a mobile.
Yeah.
More promission so lens.
Yeah. No, I think that creative arts is a very, very key. I think that if you look at the manifesto, we are saying that creative arts a major pillar because there's so much talent our creative arts more. So the support no koma or more, it will help us a lot. A lot of the talent is there, but having access, say, to recording studios, for example, to go and record and their music and all of other things, is a problem. It's a real problem. And so what we said is that we will work with the private sector to put in recording studios in the major places like Tamale, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Accra, where they can rent. They don't have to put up their own. They can just go and rent the space and do the music and all of that. We've also set up, the Creative Arts Bill has gone through Cabinet, and it will definitely go to Parliament when Parliament comes back in October, and we hope we can see if we can pass it. I don't know. I hope so. But the Creative Arts Bill is going to create a Creative Arts Fund, right? And that will also help the creative arts. Recently, when the mid-year budget review was done, you saw that the creative arts was given, I think, close to 50 million Ghana cedis to help cushion them from the impact of COVID, So I think that we need to do this and also continue and also build theaters. Like we have said, we want to build a theater in Kumasi, we want to build a theater in Tamale, we want to build a theater in Takoradi, and so on.
When will it start? Because we want to build it here.
Yeah.
Respectfully,
manifesto, no, I don't know. The manifesto is your intention to build. So we are declaring that intent, but we are saying specifically, say, creative arts, no, we want to give it a focus. We want to consider it as a major growth pool in this economy. You can create a lot of jobs in creative arts, and we should invest in creative arts. And that is what we are saying in the manifesto.
Into creative arts for Mame pressure no Mpamucho set Mwati. Airport. I believe it is one of the biggest takeaways from manifesto launch. Does Cape Coast need an airport? Argentina airport, airstrip, aerodrome, why?
Yeah. Why? But I think that the issue, I think it speaks. You said a manifesto no koi no. It means that there's nothing else to talk about. If you have to go and pick up that as an issue after this major piece of work across.
Well, you're the party in power, so what do you expect? No,
but I know, but I'm just saying that said manifesto, usually you expect the policies that you've put inside to really be interrogated by your opponents and other people alike. But the issue that has come up more is I would have thought that education and other things is an airport in Cape Coast, and that is also good because it allows us to explain. Kwame,
yes, sir.
So that we share airport in Cape Coast no idea here in my in our opinion, I think it will be a good thing for Cape Coast. Why do I say so? Unim say historically, Cape Coast used to even be the capital of Ghana.
That's true. Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, yeah, it used to be the capital. Cape Coast today, if you are talking about the history of slavery in the world, anywhere in the world, is you talk about or study the history of slavery, you will study Cape Coast. That you cannot tell the story about the history of slavery without talking about Cape Coast, of all the forts and castles in Cape Coast. So in terms of this, the slavery issue is very big. You talk today, for that matter, about tourism in this country. Tourism in this country. And Cape Coast is the tourism capital of Ghana. There's no other place that attracts as many tourists as Cape Coast. You talk about education. And today, if you look at education in Ghana, Cape Coast is the education capital of Ghana. So the amount of traffic in terms of people that goes to Cape Coast is quite significant. It's quite significant. And so if you are looking at trying to put in place infrastructure, say the infrastructure ebe boost the economy of Cape Coast, you have to look at it long term. And the tourism industry is one that really is important. Tourists like convenience. So I can fly into a place. Kwame.
Yes, sir.
I can fly into a place. I don't have to come in and be on a 3-hour journey on a bus to get to the place. So that the airport will provide a lot of convenience for tourists who are coming in. It will help a lot, and it will also boost other industries in around Cape Coast as you have it. So I think that the whole idea of boosting the place, you look at Accra, Kumasi, the Cape Coast, Takoradi area, that triangle, that triangle that we are talking about, that area, has probably 60% of the population of Ghana.
Ebiaka said, why don't you fix the road?
Oh, it has to be part of it.
Why don't you dualize the road? Why don't you get interchanges, for example?
That is going to be done. That I'm sure will be done. You need not only the roads, but you also need rail. The way that we're thinking about the whole thing, you need major infrastructure, transportation.
Just a train
kwine, train, the road is there and the airports are there.
But Ibi Pacha said the road is more important now, and known as he say a priority.
See, Kwame,
yes, sir.
There's no reason why we are doing all sorts of roads. There's no reason why you can't work on the two at the same time. There really is no reason, because the road, I mean, as I say, is got to be part of the plan. Because you don't want to have an airport which then difficult to get to and all of that. So the road and the rail, you have to think long term. We're thinking rail, we're thinking roads, but that is going to be on the basis of that infrastructure. It will boost the economy of the central region, really boost it. And this is the 4th poorest region in Ghana. The 4th poorest region.
So in reverse, can the region support an airport? It's the 4th poorest region.
Yeah,
you want to put an airport there, you want to put rail.
That precisely, that in fact the airport will boost the region. right? In terms of economic
what way?
growth, it will, because there will be more people coming in. There are many people who would like to go to Cape Coast, but maybe thinking about how inconvenient it is, travelers from abroad and all of that. You provide the infrastructure not only for Cape Coast, but between Cape Coast and Kumasi, Cape Coast and Accra, Cape Coast and Takoradi, and all of that. Then you are boosting economic activity in the area.
I did a little background check. Apparently, Cape Coast Airport has semi starting home comache.
It's not new.
Ain't Yabetwaba and Namusimugakusi Airport. Is it a vote catching buying gimmick?
Oh, no, that cannot be.
Because this conversation has been going on for more than 20 years.
Yes, and so I mean, as you said, so many things have been going on for more than 20 years in Ghana. But the time has come for us to put that as a key policy to undertake, a key piece of infrastructure. Of course, you're going to try to get this done on a BOT basis, if possible, so that government is not really expending a lot of money in that direction. And so it is an idea whose time has come. And I believe that the people of the Central Region deserve an airport. In fact, there's more of a case for an airport at Cape Coast than there was for an airport in Ho. There's more of a case for it. But I didn't see a lot of resistance to the airport in Ho as I'm seeing the airport in Cape Coast. But in terms of the tourist potential, Cape Coast is bigger. Fine, it's good that we have an airport in Ho, that's fine. But I'm just saying that the economic case is stronger in Cape Coast. Much, much stronger.
Much stronger.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up slowly, Your Excellency. You mentioned the automobile industry, and VW is here. Toyota is coming.
Yes.
Hopefully, that's what you just told us. But your own, there's Kantanka. Ebipache said we're not giving Kantanka the same push or the same incentives that we are giving the VWs and Toyotas. There's also the Second-Hand Car Dealers Association. They are up in arms. And almost Thursday, I said, don't be a demonstration. His son said, you're not treating them fairly.
Okay.
What are we doing about our own?
Oh, thank you very much. I think the incentives to Kantanka are really no different from the incentives to VW. The automotive policy applies to all players, equal level playing field. So the idea VW and I said Toyota, sad Kantanka. And in fact, we are actually buying cars from Kantanka, from what I understand, and so on. So we want to boost Kantanka. And they are doing some very, very good vehicles, even electric vehicles now, smaller vehicles. And so it will be. And what we are also doing with the automotive policy is we are introducing a leasing arrangement so that there's an economy, so that people, whether they are bus drivers or trotro drivers or nurses or doctors, you can get your vehicle brand new in Ghana without having to pay import duty. And you pay for it over time through leasing arrangements. So, if you are a teacher and you don't have money, because you have the whatever your national ID and other things, government bit me up wow. Now what car no for. So adi ayehwe and say bus ne trotro ne taxi ne omutme ato sakaya ye manufacture wa Ghana yi. And so we'll create the jobs here and make it sustainable. So the automotive industry, we want to add to it the leasing policy. So the nipa bit me ato saka seeing na spare parts so I think it is very important. I think Second-Hand Car Dealers Association, the Minister for Trade and Industry is engaging them, and I think that they will continue to engage. But I don't really think that they should really. I don't really think that there should be a demonstration or anything like that. They should sit down and talk, and then we'll see where we can meet them and explain what is going on to them.
Quick one also, traditional medicine practitioners. Almost say in your manifesto, you mentioned them. They have indirect jobs to over 3 million people. Now, almost say my manifesto, say you provide them support. Support you man him. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think that there is a general policy direction say traditional medicine is very important and we should support the industry. The details we will flesh out, of course, we will discuss with them, but the Ministry of Health will handle those details. Yeah.
Into traditional for Mate. Then somebody has just sent me this one. So Town and Country Planning Department in the Central Region actually started feasibility work on this airport in 1996.
Okay.
And it goes on and on. Unfortunately, it's a bit too long, and so I'm unable to read it. Your Excellency, how do you assess election 2020? What are you saying?
Well, we ended say, Nyaminsem. Now, 2020, it's 3 months away.
Yes.
I think that the can say, Eba ko apro na ye can chere obia ejuma ayaye. Said ya mama Nana Akufo-Addo obedi president no. Within the last 4 years, ejuma say na ayaye. Mimi gidi say ye timi communicate ye policies no and how they have benefited people. Then the people will look at us favorably. And so, but we don't want to take anything for granted.
Yes.
So, we have to work hard, but pray and leave it in the hands of God.
Are you saying that you're not in a comfortable lead?
Definitely not in the type of comfortable lead that our opponents were last time. We'll leave that one for them.
But you have hope.
Inshallah. Oh, very much so. Very much so. It's a lot of work, Kwame. The work is massive. It speaks for itself. You go to every district, Kwame. There's no district in this country that hasn't been touched by the work that Nana Akufo-Addo has done. Every district.
What are some of your biggest challenges as Vice President?
As Vice President, I think that I have a boss who really wants things to be done in a hurry. He's almost a workaholic. He's working
at his age.
At his yeah. I mean, he's stronger than us, the younger men. You know, he is demanding. And it's, you know, so of course it's something that we all have to work to. So you cannot relax. You have to keep going at it. You know, government is also very, very large, and you have to coordinate a whole lot of agencies to get certain things done. It can be a challenge, but it also helps us all know what is going on. So I think that the whole issue of wanting to deliver quickly, but sometimes government doesn't move as quickly as you do. You know, sometimes I realize in government that, you know, if you want something in 6 months' time, you should say you want it in 3 months' time.
and so that way you can drive people. But I hear you also drive your people. You're not very different from your boss that you're complaining about.
Well, he drives me, and I also have to drive somebody else. Yes. But I have a good team. I'm very proud of my team. They're excellent. Yeah.
Would you like to succeed your boss one day?
Oh, the Ewonyaminsem. I'm very happy working for my boss. He's a great boss, and that is all I'm thinking about.
But whether you succeed in one day or not.
Yeah. You know, everything has to be God.
Papa.
Yeah. So you really have to just work. Do your work when He gives you the opportunity. Anything that comes afterwards, if He wants it, it will happen. If He doesn't, it wouldn't happen. Then you shouldn't be worried about that.
You sound
I'm
like
focused on my work.
You sound like a content man.
I am very happy with what I'm doing. I'm very, very happy with the responsibilities I'm doing. I'm very happy with the opportunity to bring real change to the lives of people, to support the vision of the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, and I'm very happy about that.
On a very, very, very light note, Samira Konfansimano.
Your Konfansimano.
Obisi Mbisa said, does your going to Fansiman those days have anything to do with the airport?
You realize how difficult it was.
You went through a lot of hell going to see her, so Samira is part of the reason why you want an airport in Cape Coast.
No, it's good.
First time we've had a vice president here, and we're very grateful for your time. Yadasi Bebre said,
okay.
And you're not better as an insra.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an insra.
Okay, Mr. Medas an insra.
Have a beautiful day, Your Excellency. Thank you very much again. Thank you very much. 23.